do have to recognize that it is called America, and America history repeats itself. But also, America can congratulate itself. America has decided to align with other nations in electing far-right, crazed, deranged leaders. And what you have to understand is that, and I'm going to keep saying, is that this is white fear. This is absolute fear of the future changing of this country. The Constitution, Declaration of Independence, that wasn't democracy. Black men couldn't vote. Men of means couldn't vote. Women couldn't vote. Black folks couldn't vote. I mean, if you were not a white man who owned land, you couldn't vote. So there's been a constant effort to change this country, to change its values. So what you've seen tonight is this country has decided that, you know what, Trump, those are our values. In fact, he's actually poised to win the popular vote.
Wow. Yep.
When you look at states like New York, New Jersey, Harris barely wins those states. Lower margins than when Biden did. When you look at the numbers, look at what the country decided. Country's decided, we don't mind if you lead an insurrection. We're good. We don't mind if you steal classified documents and lie about it and don't return them. We're good. We don't mind if you cheat with your company. We're good. Because you're going to bring back the good old days. It's going to be fabulous. The fact of the matter is, Trump inherits an economy fixed by Democrats. And he's going to immediately claim credit for all of it. He's going to say, oh, it came back all because I'm coming back. But do understand, you better pay attention when he lets Elon Musk run amok in the federal government. You better be scared to death when he literally lets Robert F. Kennedy be in control of science and health. Oh, you better bring back the mask and everything else, because it's about to be a lot more people who ain't vaccinated. And when polio comes back, and some of these other diseases that we conquered a long time ago come back, because you've got a crazed, deranged, anti-vaccine person in charge, well, there you go. Oh, please say hello to white nationalist Stephen Miller. Oh, he's back. Steve Bannon, oh, he's back. And do understand, all of the sane people you had before who served as guardrails, they won't be there. You truly are going to have a cabinet, an administration of zealots, of individuals who have no business holding on to power. And so America got what it wanted tonight, and America is going to get what it deserves. So let me say this right now to all of you white farmers in Michigan, in Wisconsin, in Indiana, in Iowa, when he drops his tariffs and all of y'all asses go broke, I don't want to hear shit. Because hashtag, we tried to tell you. And to all y'all people who blame the Biden-Harris administration for an awful economy, even though inflation today is at where it was in December 2019, where we had the longest period of unemployment at that low of a rate in 50 years. Stock market, S&P, savings, all that stuff. Oh, by all means, when his tariffs plan shifts all of that debt to you, don't look at us who voted for Harris. Because hashtag, we tried to tell you. We told you by voting for that fool what was going to happen. So your health is going to be compromised. Your pocketbook is going to be compromised. Oh, by the way, when your ass start choking and your water tastes like crap, Don't come holler at us because he is going to decimate the EPA. Oh, by the way, when your raggedy ass state go ask a fool with the education, please don't come holler at us because of what he's about to do when it comes to the Department of Education. And again, all y'all white women who on birth control,
How about that?
don't come holler at us when this Supreme Court targets that too. Clarence Thomas already told you they coming for that too. And so for all of y'all who said, oh my God, the nation is on the wrong track, by all means, enjoy his inauguration. Dance in the aisle. Go dancing in the streets. But I'm going to tell you right now, ain't no way in hell you think we're going to be silent. There's no way in hell you think we going anywhere. You know, I interviewed Harry Belafonte, brother right there. I asked him about why is he still in America. He said, you know what? For all my love of the French Riviera, he said, I stayed here to make it better. And see, I know y'all really think this is yours. I know y'all really, really think that we should go to where we came from. Well, I'm gonna tell you where I came from. Riverside Hospital, Houston, Texas. 250 Defender Street in Clinton Park. And then 222 Pennsylvania Street in Clinton Park. So we're here and we gonna swing. And I'm telling you right now, y'all act a fool. It's gonna be the Montgomery Brawl.
Yes, sir. Yep.
Cause see, we gonna throw the cap in the air.
That signal.
And when it's time to swing, it's time to swing.
Yes, sir.
And so y'all can play it cute. Oh, by the way, all of you working class people, oh, I can't wait till the corporations start laying your asses off. I can't wait, because Elon's already said that we need to destroy the economy.
That's right.
To reconstruct it.
Yep. That's right.
And see, all y'all who supports this, I'm sure Dana White's gonna slap his wife around some more.
How about that?
And Trump is gonna elevate him. And I know Jenny Thomas is just pleased tonight.
Yes, indeed.
And I know Clarence is saying, oh, Miss Jenny,
Oh, God. Oh, I can't see.
we can now retire with millions because Trump is gonna replace me with somebody hard right. But to the people out there who are frustrated and angry, and I've been seeing your text messages and your Twitter posts and all that, all I tell you to do is go pick up a history book.
Come on.
And do understand
Come on.
that post-slavery, America allowed the slave owners to get their plantations back.
Yeah, they did.
As long as they pledged to abide by the Constitution. So the very folk we were fighting came back and got their riches. And the slaves didn't come back. But they did keep slavery in the Constitution and allowed the peanut system to go forward. See, that's why the California deal is so important, because they don't mind that prison labor in California.
That's right.
So y'all can enjoy your win, but I'm telling you right now, a lot of you who voted for Trump and you're rejoicing right now, there will be tears. And when the tears come shedding, you can't cry on our shoulders. And you can't come to say, I don't know how this happened. And all we gonna say is, we tried to tell you. Folks, Black Star Network is here.
Hold no punches.
I'm real revolutionary right now.
Support this man, Black Media. He makes sure that our stories are told.
Thank you for being the voice of Black America, Roland.
Stay black. I love y'all.
All momentum we have now, we have to keep this going.
The video looks phenomenal.
See, there's a difference between Black Star Network and Black-owned media and something like CNN.
You can't be Black-owned media and be scared.
It's time to be smart.
Bring your eyeballs home.
You dig? Because I don't know if y'all saw this video of this crazy deranged fool who had the audacity to challenge the black church when it comes to this election. And so he over there, the look on his face like, yeah, I saw that video. So y'all go ahead and roll Donnie Swaggart, who is the son of Jimmy. It's a whole lot I can say. Jimmy Swaggart, because we got to play this, and I got to get a comment. Go ahead, roll it.
Devon Franklin.
Now, I'm fixing to make some people mad right now. And I'm going to tell you right now, I'm going to be, for the statement I'm about to make, I'm going to be called a racist. And I will be called every name under the sun. But somebody needs to stand up and speak to the black church. When the largest Pentecostal, when the largest African-American Pentecostal denomination, when that leader stands up and said, I endorse that woman, he was saying, I endorse murder. I endorse homosexuality. I endorse lesbianism. I endorse transgenderism. I endorse every evil that hell could prosper, bring up to the right. That's wrong, folks. And the black church votes predominantly for the party that is anti-God. What's going on here? What's going on? See, my statement to them is this. We've had them call into the program. I don't like it when you talk about how I well, no, the problem is they don't like it because we're stepping on their toes. Hello? But I guarantee you, if 1860 was today, they wouldn't say a word about preachers preaching against slavery. They would trumpet it, and they should. So then, why will not the African American church stand up for righteousness and stand up for the Word of God? Come on, church. Come on. You can call me a racist. You can call me every name under the sun, but I am right. I come against you in the name of the Lord Jesus Christ. You don't vote for somebody just because mama voted them or daddy voted for them, but you vote according to the Word of God. Come out from among them and be ye separate, says the Lord.
All right, I'm enough of hearing him. Go right ahead.
Yeah, Fred, let me, I'm about to speak in tongues, so let me get what we're not going to have is white theology trying to articulate to a black church our morals, our culture, our history, and our faith. You are racist. It is about white nationalism. I'm a pastor, member of this board, on a newspaper, a radio station, and our black newspaper. Over 1,000 black pastors in the state of Florida have endorsed Kamala Harris to be the next president of the United States of America. Now, to get thousands of black pastors to sign off to say, I'm not afraid of Trumpism. I'm not afraid of what they may say about me. The black church was born in slavery. The black church understands the power of black theology and liberation theology, and he cannot lecture me. If you want to talk about demons and dragons, and what Trump represents is the Antichrist, and they're against everything that we stood for. When you try to tell us that Project 2025 is from the Lord, I'm telling you it's straight from hell. Because in the state of Florida, Project 2025 is being implemented right in this state. Anti-black, anti-books, anti-right, anti-Mickey Mouse. I didn't mean to do that, my friend. So let me just say this.
No, go right ahead.
Go ahead.
It's called Roland Body Unfiltered.
The power of the black church. If we cannot rise in a time like this, we were never going to rise. This is a defining moment, not only for black folk, but for clear-thinking white people. This is our time. And I'm not going to be an Uncle Tom preacher who received my resource from black folk and scared to settle for black folk. The devil is a liar.
I salute my frat brother, and I greet my frat brother. I was trained as a church historian. I am revolted and disgusted by the son of a man who condemned other folk and then did the same thing himself. I will not be lectured by the great-great-grandsons of white preachers that told black folk slavery was ordained by God and you ought to be happy to be a slave. I will not be lectured and taunted and dismissed by white preachers who refuse to understand my dignity and my culture and only want to recognize me when I emulate them. The black church at its best has always been an institution for liberation of black folk and all folk. Our doors have always been open to anybody who wanted to come in. Our faith has always been about love, about loving folk enough to hold them accountable for their disrespect of God's creation of black folk. I serve a God who created me in God's own image and gave me the right to decide what I would do with my life. I'm grateful that I had a praying mama. I'm grateful I had a father who was light-skinned and decided he was going to continue to identify as a black man because his daddy was the only black person in the town he was raised up in upstate New York. I stand in a tradition of black folk who lifted black people up because they understood the God they served was concerned about who they were. I serve a nappy-headed, bronze-skinned Jesus
Here in North Africa,
who died on a cross that I can have life more fully. And I will not allow somebody who denies the truth of the matter. He would rather have somebody with 34 felony convictions for an innumerable number of other court cases waiting on him, who has been sued over 4,000 times in his lifetime, who gets off a bus, talks about putting Tic Tacs in his mouth, and grabbing a woman in her private parts. That is what he wants as president?
We may disagree about abortion. I've been in ministry for 63 years, Roland. I've never told anybody to have abortion and never told anybody not to have one. I've explained to them the consequences of both and told them you need to pray, go to your God, ask your God what you ought to do, because you're the one that's going to be accountable for whatever you do. And if your God says it's all right, then you do that. Because they don't even understand it in Orthodox Judaism. The child is not a child until they're born, until they are birthed. There are other traditions that honor life in different ways. And you, with your male self, want to dictate to a woman what she can do with her own body? That's the start of a deep and vicious slope that will dictate to all of us. I'm enough of a historian to know that Jews, that Hitler started out with Jews. He then started after folks who were handicapped. He then started out after folk that didn't agree with him. And he's waiting for black folks if he had ever gotten to where a large black population would be.
Well, in fact, what he did was he sent people to the United States to study Jim Crow, and they took Jim Crow practices back to Germany.
Back.
So America actually
taught him how to do that. The theologian Bonhoeffer,
Dietrich Bonhoeffer, who studied at Abyssinian Baptist Church.
Died because of Nazism, because he dared stand for the truth.
Who made a decision to participate in an effort to actually assassinate
Hitler. Yes.
So Dietrich Bonhoeffer made a decision to take his life for the purpose of the greater good.
Saving other lives. There was.
Oh, I know about Dietrich Bonhoeffer.
But then,
don't think I'm bootleg. My wife ordained, but I'm bootleg.
when they came, we can have a council right now. I mean, there's enough of us here to have a council if you need it. But when they came, the story is when they came to the Jews, I didn't say anything. When they came for crippled folk, I didn't say anything. When they came for folks that were his enemies, I didn't say anything. And when they came for me, there was nobody left to speak. You start out talking about gays and lesbians. I don't understand. And there may be some folks that might get offended by this. I don't know why I'm heterosexual. I've always loved women. I don't know why. I don't know whether that's because my mother and father raised me or that was the community I lived in. But in black communities, folk, there's always been gays. There's always been other folk.
And in white communities too.
And there have been.
And in fact, there are gay folks who have served in Donald Trump's administration.
And some, as a preacher, sometimes I have to be careful about listening to folk, because sometimes the most vicious preaching is against something that they got inside of their own selves. They're doing it themselves. But the point I want to make is this. I don't understand why I'm how I am, so I certainly don't understand what somebody else does. But I will say this. There is one passage of scripture that I love. It's in John. And it says, you will know my disciples by their love. I'm going to love folk until I understand more about everything.
And I'll try to be a little briefer. But what's interesting to me is that he had that audacity,
right,
to say that. And I think beyond the black clergy, the black community needs to really take note that there are people now who feel so emboldened.
Oh yeah.
Until they feel like they can say absolutely anything. And I think we as black clergy, we deal with so many different things. Again, the issue of reproductive rights, and oftentimes we hear it being phrased in the terms of a woman having the right to do what she wants with her body. Well, as a pastor, I've sat not just with a woman, I've sat with a husband and wife. I've sat with a father and a daughter. who've had to make very tough decisions.
Right.
And as we counsel them, as we share with them, as we pray with them, as pastors, as was already said, that ultimate decision is left with that family. So the issue is not necessarily how you feel about the issue. The issue is whether or not government has a right to tell a family what to do in that situation. If the church doesn't have that right, then why should the government? And so I think we really have to be careful that we don't miss the fact that in many cases the white evangelical church has become almost another political party.
Well, the reason why I wanted to play that, because first of all, if you want to show the sheer stupidity of Donnie Swaggart, when he says first the black church, coming out of his mouth, the reason there is a black church is because black people could not go to white churches. So he can't even understand the roots of Christianity in America by saying the reason there is a separate black church and white church is because of racism, is because of their views. The second thing is, it's interesting when I listened to him, and again, when I first heard it, the reason I had to laugh at the sheer stupidity, because he is condemning by saying, well, the black church is supporting death. In 60 years of the presidency, there have only been 3 federal executions in 60 years. There were none under Obama, Biden. Trump gets in. There were 13 federal executions in 6 months. So when I listen to conservative white evangelicals also talk about the Catholic Church is adamantly opposed to abortion. But the Catholic Church is also adamantly opposed to the death penalty. Now, you notice you never hear the Donnie Swaggarts of the world talk about the death penalty, which I'm like, because again, and then when they talk about being pro-life, that was a clip when I went off on a Republican last year that has probably gotten about 20, 30 million views, when I had to explain to her the difference between anti-abortion and pro-life. So I would say to a Swaggart, I don't want to hear you calling the black church out about the issue of abortion when y'all oppose Medicaid expansion. When you oppose the Affordable Care Act, also called Obamacare. That's also life. You can't oppose Head Start. That's also life. I don't recall seeing Donnie Swaggart at any protest when an unarmed black man got shot by a cop. That's life. I literally don't recall them also fighting for the crisis in black maternal health in this country. And so when I listen to all of that nonsense, it's like you want us to buy into that, but the same individuals also are not speaking up for black institutions, because when you talk about who they first came for, these are the very same people who targeted affirmative action in colleges. They targeted the Fearless Fund in Atlanta. And yes, they also will be targeting HBCUs because they already are saying it, oh, we shouldn't have separate education, without even realizing that HBCUs were accepted, to your point about the black church, were accepting white folks when white institutions were not accepting black folks. And so Donnie Swaggart, and then, but the greatest piece for me is you are trying to call the black church out when you are supporting somebody who cheated on his first wife for the second with the third, slept with a porn star, paid her off, got sued. Then you have been also found liable for sexual assault. You've defamed her. You got to keep paying it. And who told 30,000 lies when he was in the White House. 50 lies in the first debate with Biden, 30 lies in the next debate with Vice President Kamala Harris, a man who lies about lies. And so you literally have the most corrupt, evil, lying, narcissistic insurrectionist, and then you want to call out the black church?
And no one has checked him on any of that. No one has called Donald Trump
on that side.
Exactly.
Right, because they make excuses. Like, please, Donnie Swagger, show me that sermon where you held Trump to task and said, Trump, you should stop insulting black women the way you did. You should also make John Kelly, when he condemned Congresswoman Frederica Wilson, when in fact he lied on her from the White House podium when it came to FBI agents here. I mean, we can go on and on, but you don't see. And then of course, what's that fool? Because I don't, because his daddy was a preacher, but I don't even. What's that Graham boy? Franklin Graham, who questioned the Christianity of Obama. Yeah. But this fool can't even hold a Bible right. Again, and then he said, let's pray for him.
No. And second, 2 Chronicles. 2 Corinthians.
Oh, I love the clip when he got asked about his favorite Bible verse. Oh, the Bible is just really personal to me. Yeah. And so then they said, well, first, Old Testament, New Testament. Oh, they're about the same. That boy, I mean, he don't even know what's first or second.
But the primary thing that's wrong with many of the white churches and white evangelical conservatives, they have never recognized that America's first sin is slavery. And they never have recognized or admitted that white supremacy has undergirded everything that has happened in this country since it was founded. And they don't even understand that when you make the flag superior to the cross, you've already stepped away from Christianity.
I also don't recall Donnie Swagger, you hear Donnie Swagger calling out the folk who were carrying Confederate flags with Trump flags in the Capitol.
No. I think you got a guy who's running for president who get on the national platform and talk about honor Palmer private parts. And the so-called white church won't call them out.
Won't say a word.
Won't say a word. And you're going to call out the vice president and to say that she's incompetent. But I think it's on us. I think it's on black folk to wake up. I don't know where we get this Mark Robertson mentality in North Carolina, lieutenant governor, where Trump would say that he is. You gonna insult my frat brother? He better than Martin Luther King Jr. Mark Robinson. I mean, you can't make this stuff up. This is not in the 1900s. This is the 21st century. Where folk are saying to us what they think about us. And I'm glad that you are visiting HBCUs. You asked about presidents and board of trustees and why it's so important that board of trustees let the president lead and guide, and we set policies. And if you have a person like A. Zachary Faison, who is the brightest, greatest president on planet Earth in these times. Now, and I would challenge.
That's gonna cost you come raise time.
I'm getting on right now. If we wanna keep these good presidents, right, you gotta pay them. Don't tell me I congratulate you. Show me my compensation. And I just think that when I've had the honor of serving on there are only 4 HBCUs in the state of Florida. I had the honor of serving on 3 of them. And I understand when you lead in black universities, you literally developing pearls and the great minds on planet Earth. We still need HBCUs. And so, Dr. Faison, I'm glad Roland came here because I want to let the world know that we have one of the best presidents at Edward Waters University, and your trustees trust you and believe in you. And let me just say this about, I know I'm getting in trouble, about this governor. I know I'm getting in trouble, and I told Ben Crump this, and he's a member of Bethel, where I pastor. When the sadness said that black folk derive benefits from being in slavery, and he also said that our history lacks educational merit. Now, we could not just let them get by. So we said, as a black folk, let's do our own curriculum, teach our own history. We cannot expect them to teach our history, but doggone it, the black church, and if you use, ought to teach our history.
That's right.
Because forget what Trump may do, the bottom line, what we gonna do.
Right.
How do we preserve our institutions? How do we make sure that black colleges are growing, not just surviving, but thriving?
That's right.
That's on us, Roland.
That's right.
That's on us. That's on us. And my last point is, I'm getting in trouble. Black men, Obama tried to tell you, Magic Johnson tried to tell you. Now let this country preacher tell you, have you lost your mind? How can somebody like Trump be your hero? Have you lost your mind? How can you feel that he is better than Kamala Harris? And if you sexist, just say it. Yeah. And if you have a problem voting for a qualified black woman, just say it, but don't hide behind Trump.
One of the things that I
real quick before we close,
I want to say this. I was the president of a white institution for 15 years. I never stopped being black. I was judged by a different standard, and I stayed there longer than any other president. And when I walk out the door, I got an honorary degree. Thank you very much. What I'm saying about this president, this man has vision, he has energy, he has integrity, and he's operating in a way that I have compared him to Dr. Benjamin Elijah Mays and his wife to Mrs. Mays, Mrs. Sadie Mays. I'm a Morehouse graduate. And I don't compare anybody to Dr. Mays and Sadie Mays, but A. Zachary Faison and Tyson Faison, that's as close as I've ever seen. That is a model for everybody for leadership. And we better be real glad we've got him, and we better do everything we can to keep him, because everybody else wants the same thing.
Final comment.
Final comment, going back to that clip as it relates to the black church. I think it's interesting that he would even challenge the black church. It talks about the power that we have. If we had no power, he would not have addressed us. When it comes to COVID testing, when it came to all the issues that we have to deal with as a community, it always comes back to the black church. When it comes to employment, it comes back to the black church. And so I think our people have to understand that in times of crisis, it is the black church that people have always come to. And so we have to be careful that we don't let this soundbite, first of all, turn us off from voting. In my congregation, as a proud AME pastor, we've always had a third-party voter registration organization. So not only in our ministry, but when there are community events that are going on, we will take our organization, we will go out and make sure we're registering people to vote. And so I just want black people, particularly, to understand the importance of not allowing that type of clip to cause you to become so jaded about the process that you don't get out to vote. So maybe his goal was to get under our skins to the point over the next 12 days, perhaps, we won't vote. The last thing I'll say is this. As I was on my way to this room, I had the privilege of going right on campus at the Edward Waters University and voting. All right. And so all the other things that we do, they do matter. But what matters the most is that we go out and vote. And the choice is clear. He's talking about policies, but then you have a person that has violated perhaps every Christian principle known to man. And so if you are a Christian, there's only one way you can vote, and that's for the one who is a Christian. Kamala Harris.
Well, look, I believe in also confronting folk. So I would love nothing better than to see, because he in Baton Rouge, I would love nothing better to see 50 to 100 pastors roll up in that church and sit on the front row and stare that fool down and then say, we gonna have a conversation when you done, since you got something to say. So since he want to call the black church, I said the black church need to go to him and say, oh, you had something to say? Well, we here. Let's go. And matter of fact, we ain't gonna speak privately. I will be happy to live stream it. Now, make it public since you want to run your mouth publicly. That's just where I come from, but that's just me. I'm a little different than like that, so.
In 2016, Donald Trump said he would choose only the best people to work in his White House. Now those people have a warning for America. Trump is not fit to be president again. Here's his vice president.
Anyone who puts themselves over the Constitution should never be president of the United States. It should come as no surprise that I will not be endorsing Donald Trump this year.
His defense secretary.
Do you think Trump can be trusted with the nation's secrets ever again?
No. I mean, it's just irresponsible action that places our service members at risk, places our nation's security at risk.
His national security advisor.
Donald Trump will cause a lot of damage. The only thing he cares about is Donald Trump.
And the nation's highest-ranking military officer.
We don't take an oath to a king or a queen or to a tyrant or a dictator. And we don't take an oath to a wannabe dictator.
Take it from the people who knew him best. Donald Trump is a danger to our troops and our democracy. We can't let him lead our country again.
I'm Kamala Harris, and I approve this message.
Over the weekend, Reese was on Washington Journal on C-SPAN. Reese Colbert, and she was just knocking down, did a great job knocking down these folks' lives. So while she was on, y'all, they played this interview when this other black child, I think her name, what's her name, Michaela Montgomery? That her name? Okay. So she was the one who was with Trump at the Chick-fil-A in Atlanta. She's also the same one. She went on an Atlanta radio station lying about Trump, HBCUs, and all kind of stuff. And then I called out on Instagram. She was like, yeah, when you went off of me on my show, my parents didn't like it. Well, guess what? Your parents not about to like what I'm about to do to you right now. Now, we invited her on the show, but she ain't responded. Now, she was talking big on Instagram, talking about how she wanted to come on. My producer reached out. She ain't hit us back. But I saw this. So this was like a month ago on Washington Journal. And if y'all want to hear an onslaught of lies in just 2 minutes and 31 seconds, listen to this nonsense. And I'm going to stop it and we're going to play it. But this is just sheer lunacy. Press play.
A few days before that, he spoke to the National Association of Black Journalists, and he talked about Vice President Harris's racial identity, that she had become black. A lot of critics said that hurt him with black voters. What was your reaction?
I don't know why it would hurt him with black voters, because it seems like black voters are offended by everything except the conditions in which their reality is set. So while we might be offended that a rich white man is questioning the nationality of a quote unquote black woman, that black woman does not claim to be black outside of campaign season. So we saw her be black as she was vying to be VP. The hot sauce on the pork chops, the marching with the band, all of a sudden she's paying attention to her AKA sorority sisters. But then once sworn in office, you didn't see the acknowledgement of her sorority or her HBCU. She didn't wear pink, she didn't wear green, she didn't wear anything HU. She also did not acknowledge the black community.
Oh, freeze right there. You know what? Well, I need some Vaseline. I need some Vaseline right now. This is the moment where you put some Vaseline and then you just put it on your, like when you get ready to run. Matter of fact, I could do battle right now without any Vaseline, because y'all just heard a straight up liar. Michaela Montgomery, you are I see why you support Donald Trump, because both of y'all are some lying ass people. Y'all just heard her say, when she became president, she didn't wear pink and green. She didn't do nothing. Is that so? Huh. Give me a second. Let me just go ahead and refute that massive lie. And see, the white woman on C-SPAN, and see, this is my problem when you have these folk on these shows, they are unprepared for the lies. Henry, go to my iPad. Vice President Harris speaks about gun safety, abortion at Orlando Alpha Kappa Alpha sorority event. Uh-oh, what is that date line right there? Oops, that's July 14th, 2022. That wasn't campaign season. Okay. I'm not done. Let's see here. Now, she don't acknowledge, she AKA. Really? Because I was there in Dallas when she spoke to the AKAs. By the way, Michaela, you clearly ain't Greek. What you don't understand is that, guess what? Greeks have their conventions every 2 years. Yeah. So they met in 2022, and then they met again in 2024. This right here is her wearing pink at the AK convention this year in 2024. So again, your lie doesn't stand. I ain't done. Let me go ahead and go here. Matter of fact, Henry, you can go to, let's see, Kamala Harris. And now go to the iPad. Tennessee State. Let's see here. Let me go ahead and go right here. Let's see here. Boom. Vice President Kamala Harris gives a commencement speech at Tennessee State. Okay, Michaela, why is that important? Because the black woman who was the president of Tennessee State at the time was Dr. Glenda Glover. Who was Dr. Glenda Glover when she gave this speech? She was an international president of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated. So she was actually there with her sorority sister. But Michaela, I'm not done refuting your silly ass lies. Let's go ahead and go back. Let's see here. Let's see here. Okay. Let's see. Let's see here. VP Harris. Michaela, since you a liar like Trump, and Divine 9. Let's see what comes up. Let's go right here. We got all these stories right here, what the Divine 9 is doing, and how they lining up. If I click images, my goodness. Let's go to the LA Sentinel. Vice President Kamala Harris discussing voting right with her collegiate family, the Divine 9. Let's go to the story of this black newspaper. Oh my God. What is the date line on that story? It's October 7th, 2021. That means that Vice President Kamala Harris was in the White House for only 9 months. They came in January, and the meeting was in October, so 9-10 months. That's October 7th, 2021. My God, let's look at, my God, my goodness. Here's a photo of Vice President Kamala Harris talking to Dr. Glenda Glover. Oh my God, who is Glenda Glover? She's the president of Tennessee State, and at the time in the picture was the president of Alpha Kappa Alpha. Ain't that interesting? Let's see here. Vice President Kamala Harris, she ain't sitting here, she don't rep her university. She don't rep. Really? Damn, hold on. Let's see here. Who played last year in the Celebration Bowl in Atlanta? Y'all remember? Who was in the game last year? Florida A&M and who? HU. If I recall correctly, matter of fact, I be damned. There's actual video of the vice president. There's actual video of the vice president at the game. In fact, She actually went into the booth and talked at the game. Go ahead and turn it up, y'all, because I want to make sure that ain't no impersonator.
Proud graduate of Howard University.
A very proud Bison.
Yeah.
Here to cheer on my team.
Can I say our team when she's around? Can I say our team?
Yes, we can.
I don't know about all of that. Okay, so we saw you a couple of years ago at the Truth and Service Classic,
Yes,
and then again you supported the men's basketball team.
Of
but
course.
You're here now, and so what do these type of events mean to you personally?
Well, I mean, it's a lived experience. I, grew up through college, going to our games, and then go back for every year for many years to homecoming, and to be able to celebrate the team as an extension of celebrating the school and all HBCUs. I mean, it's very much a part of just a cultural appreciation and, and really lifting up.
We good. So, oh my goodness. So we sitting here. Oh, she ain't doing this. She ain't doing. Really? That's interesting. Matter of fact, I'm sitting here going through some photos right here in 2021, and I'm trying to see because I did take some photos of her. This was a game on September 18, 2021, when Howard played Hampton. Guess who talked? You know what? Let me just go ahead. Because Michaela, your ass went on C-SPAN just straight up lying. And see, this is what happens when you lie. Okay, let's see. VP Harris and HU game Audi Field. I guess I remember that because I was actually at the game. I was actually there. We actually covered it. So she was there. That's September 2021. So how, Michaela, can your silly ass go on TV and say, she doesn't claim being an AKA, and she doesn't claim Howard University, when you are a flat out liar? And then you say she only does this during election season. She did in 2021. She did in 2022. She did in 2023. She did in 2024. So how does she only do it during election season? So right there, we ain't even 30 seconds into the video and already busted your ass on multiple lies. Press play.
Community while in office. We saw bills signed for Asians. We saw bills passed for migrants, which primarily affect the Hispanic community. We saw bills passed for literally everyone but Black people. So for her,
Here we go. Free right there. Here her lying ass go. She went to the y'all. You know what? Matter of fact, Keenan didn't get it to me, but Michaela, I should award you a Trump University degree of BS and bullshit communications. Because you have actually earned it. Your BS and bullshit communications. Again, she repeated the Tyrese lie. Asians got a bill. No, they didn't. You clearly ain't read the damn law. I have. You have it. It applies to everybody. Everybody else, the migrants got something. Black folks to get. This is the same woman who went on an Atlanta radio station touting Trump and HBCUs, which is a lie. $16 billion HBCUs have received under Biden-Harris. $16 billion. Y'all, she even's gonna lie in the next clip about HBCU money. So we could talk about HBCU money. We could talk about 3 consecutive years. Under Biden-Harris, 45% of the Black businesses that went out of business during COVID under Trump were brought back. We could talk about 3 consecutive years of growth among Black businesses through the Small Business Administration. Girl, what the hell are you talking about? More lies. Press play.
Last thing, after she took that oath of office, she went on record to say that she was the first South Asian vice president. At no point in time did she promote her Blackness. At no point in time did she acknowledge.
Lord, did she really? My goodness. Mustafa Julian Joe. Have y'all ever heard Vice President Kamala Harris talk about her Blackness? Now this child trying to sit here and say, oh no, she ain't never touted her. Mustafa, you go ahead and go first.
Well, evidently, she's never had any conversations with the vice president, which I have.
She ain't even used Google. You ain't got to talk to the vice president. Damn, use Google.
That's true. I mean, the information is there if you want it. If you don't, then it helps to reinforce the false narrative and the misinformation and disinformation that you are intentionally sharing, not just with the country. This information is actually focused for the Black community because they understand that if they can get a smaller percentage of our folks to not, one, either vote for her or not to vote at all, then they achieve their goal. So it's just a part of a larger strategy.
Just lying. But just lying. First, let me do this here. Y'all, hold on, Julie. I'm gonna come to you next. Y'all, go ahead and play. Let's just hear more of the lies. Go ahead.
Her blackness. At no point in time does she market herself as a Black woman. And that was when she was Attorney General. That's back when she was DA. That's all the way until she was Senator. And of course, as Vice President. So the fact that, again, she's using this Black card during the election season just so Black people will turn out to vote for her. And then she will, if she were to win, she would be in office and then fail those same Black people who did everything in their power to get her in. I think that's disgusting. I think that's unfair. And I think that's why I personally reached out to the Trump campaign and asked if I could speak, because I'm like, you guys might be offended when he says it, but what are you going to do when I say it? Because at the end of the day, I am a Black woman. I've lived a Black life, and therefore I pay attention to politics. So I was actually excited for her when she ran for president the first time. Just the fact that she was in the race, I was like, okay, HBCUs, do your thing. But she never acknowledged said HBCUs. In the first 100 days of the administration, they cut funding to HBCUs.
Freeze right
she
there.
Did nothing to support.
Freeze. See right there. See, here's that other lie. And I busted the liars. First of all, Michaela, you don't actually read. So stop it.
Well,
let's just stop right there. You don't read. You don't read, you don't watch, you don't listen. You don't. And this whole that I follow politics. No, you don't. Because it's evident in the lies that you all told. I done already busted your lies about AKAs. I have busted your lies about Howard University. I have busted your lies now about HBCU funding. The fact of the matter is they didn't cut funding. The initial bill that was proposed was a massive multi-trillion-dollar bill. Remember, during the campaign, Biden talked about providing $35 billion to Black and, he said, HBCU and Hispanic serving institutions. That money was put in the initial bill. Congress went from 10 trillion to 5 to 3.5, 3.5 to 2.5, 2.5 to 1.5. Then Senator Joe Manchin actually blocked the bill. So what did they do? They then found other ways to fund HBCUs. So what you just said right there, Michaela, it's a flat out lie. Matter of fact, since you want to go ahead, so hold up, before I show y'all, so here, Michaela, here's your degree right here. We did have it. Michaela, we're going to send this to you. This is your Trump University Bachelor of Science in Bullshit Communications degree. This right here is we have awarded you your Trump University degree because you clearly went to Trump University for your research because you just sit here and just laid out massive amounts of lies repeatedly on that show. Okay, so y'all, she sat here and gave us all these lies about they cut this and they cut that and they haven't helped HBCUs and they done really. Okay, Michaela, let me ask you this question: how much money, Michaela, did Donald Trump provide to HBCUs? I'll wait. Because here's what I know, because I've showed this many times on this show, Julian, and you know this. Boom, COVID relief to HBCUs. Right here. Where's this document from? This is an Excel spreadsheet that came from the Department of Education. Oh, let me go right here. Boom, I'm gonna go right down here. Michaela, what's that bottom number right down there? $6.567 billion. Michaela, tell me how much money did Donald Trump provide to HBCUs? I'll wait. See, again, y'all, she's lying. And see, what happened was Associated Press and Newsweek, they were like, oh, Biden cut HBCU funding, $35 billion. It was a lie. It was a flat out lie. We walked you through the whole deal on the show. They didn't cut funding, they increased funding. But guess what? Dr. Walter Kimbrough, three-time HBCU president, Philander Smith, Dillard, and now Talladega, he's worked at 3 other HBCUs. He laid out in his own research how Donald Trump's budget submitted to Congress zeroed out funding for HBCUs. Oh, Michaela, that's your boy. That's the boy you went and met with at Chick-fil-A. So you like, oh, what they gonna do? They gonna question me? They gonna call and question my blackness? We gonna call and question your sanity, because all you have done is lie. So you have lied about AKs, you've lied about Howard, you lied about her not claiming her blackness, and now you lied about HBCU funding. That's 4 lies, and we ain't even finished playing the clip. And so Julianne, she can sit here, and again, you can just make it up, but it's irrefutable. I dare Michaela, I dare you, Michaela Montgomery, I dare you to come on this show and tell me that Donald Trump did not submit 3 consecutive budgets where they zeroed out funding for HBCUs. I dare you to come on this show and show me that it was AI video of Vice President Kamala Harris speaking to the AKs in Orlando in 2022. I dare you to show me it was AI of her going to the Howard University versus Hampton game at Audi Field in September 2021, a non-election year. I dare you to come on this show and say it was AI or she was attending the Celebration Bowl last year in Atlanta in December 2023, a non-election year. So it's amazing how you can sit on C-SPAN and just lie, but guess what? On the Black-owned show, you can't lie, because I'm telling you right now, sister girl, you can talk about your black experience. I'll put your black experience against my black experience any day of the week, Julianne.
I don't know what's wrong with that child. That's all I have to say. You know, before I learned how to cuss, I must have been about 3. We used to tell each other, my siblings, you're a lie and a coot. And that's what a lie and a coot, because I can't call her MF lie on your show. Or I could, but I won't today. But this is disgusting. What's disgusting is that C-SPAN would give her that much play. What's also disgusting is she lied. I looked at it. I mean, Reese was time enough for her, came right back at her. But this girl had to have fallen out of a cabbage patch or something to be willing, and she must not have any friends who went to HBCUs, because some of them would certainly check her. This is delusionism. Or, you know, she needs to be institutionalized for a little while, or there needs to be an intervention. People are just running around telling lies because it gives them some visibility. And so she got her little hour on CNN talking smack. That a quarter will not get her paper. And really, Roland, while I enjoy trash, we should be wasting our time on this. Nope,
you're wrong. Here's why. Because what happens is people like Michaela, they go on shows that don't fact check them, that don't correct them, that don't dispel their lies. People then take those clips and push them out, and folks believe it. No, you have to counter it. It was the same reason why when I saw the Tyrese video, I could have ignored it. I was with my family after my sister's death, and I said no, because you know what happened? The blogs picked it up. Hollywood Unlocked, Shade Room, Jasmine Brand, others picked it up. And I said, Tyrese's voice can't be the only one out there lying about this so-called Asian hate crime bill. It needs to be immediately fact-checked. And you know what happened? After I posted my video, guess what? Hollywood Unlocked, Shade Room, and the others picked up my response to refute what he had to say. No, I stand on truth. I stand on facts. And this ain't no Democrat fact, Republican fact. It ain't no blue or red. It ain't no black or white. It's facts or facts. And we can't allow any of these people to come out here and lie. Now, here's the deal. If you want to oppose Vice President Kamala Harris, that's fine. If you want to oppose her on policy, that's fine. What you're not going to do is actually lie about the policies. What you're not going to do is lie by saying she's never claimed being an AKA, when there are numerous times they've actually been to the White House in meetings where she's actually had. What you're not going to do is lie about HBCU funding. What you're not going to do is lie about her only claiming Howard University during election season. In fact, hell, I'm sitting here thinking about it. Let me go right here. Let's see. VP Harris. And Howard commencement. Let's see right here. Let's see right here. Oh, the 149th convocation. Who actually spoke at the 149th convocation? Oh, that's Vice President Kamala Harris. So please explain, I'm sorry, and correct me if I'm wrong, was last year an election year? No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't. And in fact, of course, President Joe Biden also spoke at the commencement. So what I find to be curious, again, Joe, are the folks who was, again, what Michaela will do is go on that show and lie, brazenly lie, that's easily fact-checked, and knowing full well that white anchor at C-SPAN was not going to fact-check her in real time because she didn't have the information.
You know, it's a great thing, I guess, to some to be able to go on a show and say whatever you want to the national stage and not get fact-checked. First of all, Reese did a great job the other day as well. I really enjoy watching that, and she banged on him with a whole lot of class, but she certainly banged on him. But again, you know, you've got a situation where somebody just makes a decision to tell a bunch of stuff that doesn't matter and it's not true. Very little of it having to do with policy. You can, you know, make a claim related to HBCUs, and theoretically that's policy because we're talking about funding. But most of it didn't even have anything to do with how Kamala Harris could be as a vice president, as a president, or how she's been as vice president. And so it's interesting how media outlets really entertain this. It's amazing how, you know, this guy from Fox News, I guess it was, you know, is actually on a salary and getting paid to actually go to the White House press briefing and ask a question that means absolutely nothing. Dana Bash on CNN, bless her heart, it's the first time, Kamala Harris is doing an interview, and she asks about, the idea that Donald Trump, says that at certain point she became black. That has nothing to do with anything. Aside from being ridiculous, it's not talking about the matter at hand. It was wasted time, and I am glad that the vice president treated that the way that she did. I am glad the White House press secretary treated it the way she did, but to your point, she could have done it even faster. But there are those of us that can spend time and take a lunch banging on these guys talking about, no, you said this was the case, and it's not. It's an absolute lie. And so to battle, we got to battle at all levels. You know what I mean? And so I agree with that. You're not going to be the one to hold back anyway. And so that's all good, but it's crazy. Listen, Kamala Harris is proud of her heritage, all parts of her heritage. She shouldn't have to go out of her way to make one person feel more comfortable about this, that, and the other. She is who she is. She always has been. She's a doggone good prosecutor. She was a good DA, great senator, great vice president, and she'll be a great president. And that's that. And meanwhile, back at the ranch, for those that want to be used to tell lies, to tell things that aren't true, the Rolands of the world and the rest of us will, be a force that will come back at you related to it, because I think truth is an important thing. But, she wasted some time. But, those of us that want to help her down the road, looking not just to the corner, but around it, will go ahead and correct her so that if she wants to be corrected, maybe she can get it right next time.
Let me be clear. Again, if you want to be a Donald Trump supporter, go right ahead. If you want to articulate, and I know some black people who are conservative, who are Republican, who say that here are the reasons why they're voting for Trump. I think they're wrong. I think they're supporting a narcissistic, lying, insurrectionist, sexually assaulting asshole, but that's their right. But what will never be tolerated, Michaela Montgomery, is you going on a show and blatantly lying about Vice President Kamala Harris. And matter of fact, it ain't got to be about her. If you lying about somebody else. So here's my advice. Don't lie. Because see, when you get exposed as a liar, it's easy to refute everything you just said. It's simple. And you can't, and also, you just can't, let me throw up my blackness. Okay, you black. Okay, your black experience. Clarence Thomas black. And we know he an enemy of black people based upon his own damn rulings. And so I'm going to end this segment again. Michaela Montgomery, on this day, September 3rd, 2024, we acknowledge and present you with your degree from Trump University, be it known upon this day by virtue of evolving into a deranged Black MAGA grifter with no shame or adherence to facts who blindly supports Donald Trump, a twice impeached, 34-time convicted felon, election denier, serial liar, chaos agent, and wannabe dictator, has completed a dubious course of study with all honors and privileges pertaining thereto. Michaela Montgomery is hereby awarded the degree of Bachelor of Science in Bullshit Communications for demonstrating outstanding proficiency in the art of spinning fiction as truth, manipulating facts, and creating false narratives that defy logic and reality. Please let us know what address to send you your degree. When you talk about blackness and what happens in black culture, we're about covering these things that matter to us, speaking to our issues and concerns.
This is a genuine people-powered movement.
There's a lot of stuff that we're not getting. You get it, and you spread the word.
We wish to plead our own cause. Too long have others spoken for us. We cannot tell our own story if we can't pay for it. This is about covering us. Invest in black-owned media. Your dollars matter. We don't have to keep asking them to cover our stuff. So please support us in what we do, folks. We want to hit 2,000 people, $50 this month, raise $100,000. We're behind 100,000, so we want to hit that. Y'all money makes this possible. Check some money orders. Go to P.O. Box 57196, Washington, D.C. 20037-0196. The Cash App is $RM Unfiltered. PayPal is R Martin Unfiltered. Venmo is RM Unfiltered. Zelle is Roland at RolandSMartin.com.
Hello, Georgia. Hello, hello, hello. I got to tell you, I've been a resident here for a little more than 30 years, so I know a few things about Georgia. What I want to share with you today is that this is where I found the American dream for myself. And lately I found myself having my feet in two different worlds. One where I'm talking to very wealthy people at their table, and then I come to work and I'm talking to people who work for me about everyday problems and everyday issues. So it puts me in a very, very peculiar spot to be able to talk to you. And I'm grateful for that, having my feet in both those worlds, because I still remember what it was like to stand at the Winn-Dixie on Beaufort Highway and have $20 and try to figure out, how do I make this meal work for the week? I know what it's like to have my landlord knocking at the door and I'm in the bed hiding because I don't want him to knock on the door because I know he has an eviction notice. I know what it's like to be homeless here in Georgia. I know what it's like to have to scrape up enough money to get to stay at a pay-by-the-week hotel off of Beaufort Highway. I know what it's like. I know what it's like to sleep in my car wrapped in my grandmother's quilt because I had no place to go. I know what it's like to come from work and walk outside and realize that my car has been repossessed. So make no mistake, I know and I remember how hard it is, and I remember the struggle, and I also know, hear me, how expensive it is to be poor. But I also believed in an American dream. And when I was coming here to Georgia, I was looking for inspiration, and there was this show called Lifestyles of the Rich and Famous. And there was a man on there that I really admired, I looked up to. He had a helicopter and his name was on hotels all over the place. He was, hold on just a second, let me get through this so you hear what I'm saying. Young black men admired him because his name was in rap lyrics. So when I first started making a little money, the first thing I did was checked into the Trump Hotel because I wanted to feel that specialness. But then I started to do my research. Research is important. Truth is important. Facts are important. I found out about a discrimination lawsuit against he and his father because they didn't want people like me in their building. I found out about him taking a full-page ad out on young black men in the New York Times. I found out about the birther lie. We all heard it, saying that Barack Obama was not born in this country. There are undertones there and there are echoes there that we all had to pay attention to. So I watched him when he won the presidency. I watched him say that there were good people on both sides when neo-Nazis were screaming, "Jews will not replace us." I watched him from the Central Park 5 to Project 2025. And what I realized is that in this Donald Trump America, there is no dream that looks like me. We want a president who believes that this American dream is for everyone. And that president is Kamala Harris. We want a president that understands, like I did in Georgia. When I came here, I didn't have anything, but I had a dream. So I worked, and against all odds, I worked my way to where I am now. It was here in Georgia. See, in Georgia, you know what we do? We don't sit around and complaining, we go to work. It was here where I became a studio owner. My first studio was on Krog Street. Now that is Krog Street Market. And then I bought another studio, which was on Greenbrier, right near Greenbrier Mall on Continental Colony Parkway. And it was there that Barack Obama came in 2012 to do a fundraiser. And he was getting ready to leave, and he said, "Come ride with me. We're going to my house for a fundraiser." And I'm like, "Wait, you want me to ride with you in the Beast?" So I get in the car, and traffic is stopped, and we're riding, and he's talking to me. And for those of you who are old enough to remember Charlie Brown, all I heard was wah, 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 wah. I finally said, "I'm sorry, Mr. President, but I haven't heard a word you said, because I'm in awe of this country. What a great country that you could become president of the United States." And he turned to me quick as a flash and he said, "Yes, but what a great country that you could become Tyler Perry." From that moment, I went and I bought a bigger studio. I bought Fort McPherson Army Base. Right now, where we hire thousands of people are coming through that doors. And I don't care what was stacked up against me. I don't care. I didn't pay attention to that. What I paid attention to was, how do I help somebody? I broke through that door, laid it down on its side, and let it become a ramp so that somebody else can get higher too. You want to hear something about an American dream? Fort McPherson was once a Confederate Army base, where there were Confederate soldiers trying to plot and plan on how to keep 3.9 million Negroes enslaved. Now that land is owned by me. Let's talk about an American dream. It's seniors working so hard and working hard and seniors working hard. And what I realized when I bought it, that seniors around, their taxes were going through the roof. So what I did was, I was like, no, you're not gonna come here and take these seniors' houses. I paid everybody's taxes up for years so that they can keep their houses. When an 85-year-old woman in Coweta County lost her house to a fire and wanted a place for all her grandkids, I rebuilt that house for her. Most recently, I saw in the AJC a story where there was a woman who hired this contractor and he gutted her house and left her there with nothing. She was living in a house with no plumbing and no walls for years. I rebuilt that house for her. Why am I telling you this? I'm not telling you this to be bragging. What I'm telling you about it is, what I want you to understand is I have compassion for our seniors. So when a candidate says that we have lowered the cost of insulin to $35 for seniors, that candidate has my vote. I put many kids through college, and recently there was a woman who was murdered by her husband, and she had 3 kids that were college age. I put all those kids through college. So when I hear a candidate say, we are going to do what we can to reduce student loan debt, that is a candidate that I can stand with. I stand with a candidate who has an American dream for everyone. She stands with us. And she has an American dream for our children. And let me tell you something about the children. I don't know if you remember, but her DNC speech was great, right? But there's a moment that you may have missed. When the cameras were rolling and she was walking around and the balloons are falling and confetti's falling, I'm watching her smile and wave. Her family comes out, but there are two little girls on the stage. And I see her constantly making sure they're okay, not getting too close to the edge. That's what you want. See, the little things will tell you about the heart of a person. In that speech, she talked about how we have more in common than what separates us. So, Georgia, I want to put that to the test. I didn't have a father who gave me millions of dollars to start a business. Did you? No. Didn't think so. My mother didn't have some great legacy, but she taught me how to pray my way through a situation. It sounds like we have that in common. I'm the kind of American that believes in a secure border, but at the same time believes that if anyone is coming seeking legal asylum, our arms should be open to them. I'm the kind of American that believes that if you are running for office, you shouldn't sink and tank a bipartisan bill to help the border so that you could use it for your own glory. If you are like me, I've worked my ass off to buy my first house and build my business and take care of my family. That is the American dream. I believe if you work that hard and you put into Social Security, when you get to a certain age, that you put in should be there waiting for you because it's yours. I believe that we all should have affordable health care and it not be replaced with the concept of a plan. What the hell? I'm the kind of American that believes that no matter what your party, we ought to be able to sit down and have civil conversation so that we can work toward a solution, the same as I do with our governor, Brian Kemp. I'm the kind of man that believes, I'm the kind of man that believes that the government nor a man should be telling a woman what she can and cannot do with her body. I'm the kind of American who believes that poll workers should do their civic duty without being harassed and threatened like Ruby Freeman and Shay Moss in Fulton County. And I am not the kind of American that glories in, enjoys, laughs at, or celebrates an 80-year-old man being hit with a hammer because his wife is in politics and you don't agree with her. And two things can be true at once. I am not the kind of man that glory in, celebrates, enjoy, or laughs at a 78-year-old former president almost meeting his death at an assassin's bullet in Butler's, Pennsylvania. It's not right. It's about decency, America, and I think you agree with me. But I am the kind of American that believes if you lose an election, that you honor the constitutional, peaceful transfer of power. And judging by your reaction, I believe Kamala is right. We have more in common than what separates us. As I'm closing here, I just want to talk about that quilt that I used to wrap up in my grandmother's car, that quilt that my grandmother gave me. That quilt was a tapestry of beautiful pieces, but I completely ignored it. I didn't think it was worth anything because she had made it from all of these stitches and gave it to me as a gift. And I was walking past this antique store years later and I saw one in the window and I go, wow, that's a beautiful quilt. It reminds me of my grandmother. So I walk in, I talk to the lady. She started explaining to me that each patch in that quilt was worth this and meant this because of the woman who made it. So when I think about America, I think about my grandmother's quilt. We are all shapes, sizes, and colors, but we are one. And it was so important for me to stand with a candidate who understands that we as America, we are a quilt. And I could never stand with a candidate who wants America to be a sheet. So today, I voted for Kamala Harris. And Georgia, it was only about 11,400 votes that separated Trump and Biden. So every vote counts. So I stand here, full-throated, with my full chest, begging you, imploring you, let's get out and make Kamala Harris the 47th president of the United States of America. Thank you, everybody. God bless you.
Whoa, Nelly! Keith Jackson used to always use that phrase when he was calling college football, and that's probably what he would have said last night if he was calling the House Oversight Committee game last night between the donkeys and the elephants. I know you were up late because, see, a lot of them Trumpers, they were down in New York City looking like some damn fools standing there defending Donald Trump. He was in court. So the committee, they actually got to work late last night, and damn, clearly some folks needed some sleep. Really?
I'd like to know if any of the Democrats on this committee are employing Judge Merchan's daughter.
Please tell me what that has to do with Merrick Garland.
Is she a porn star?
Oh, Goldman. That's right. He's advising. Okay.
He's advising who? What? Do you know what we're here for? You know we're here about AG.
I don't think you know what you're here for.
Well, you the one talking about.
I think your fake eyelashes are messing up.
No, ain't nothing.
Hold on.
Listen.
Order. Mr. Chairman, would you engage the order of your committee?
Order.
Please. There's a point of order.
We have a point of order. Mr. Lynch, state your point.
Mr. Chairman, I would just like to ask the parliamentarian if your conduct here in raising money in connection with this hearing is referable to the Ethics Committee within this hearing. Is a motion in order to refer your conduct and your abuse of
It's not a point of order.
Mr. I do have a point of order, and I would like to move to take down Ms. Green's words. That is absolutely unacceptable. How dare you attack the physical appearance of another person?
Are your feelings hurt?
Her words down.
Aww.
Oh, girl, baby girl.
Oh, really?
Don't even play,
baby girl.
We are gonna move, and we're gonna take your words down.
I second that motion.
So who will have to pay us? Okay. All right. We're suspending.
Absolutely.
I don't know. It's crazy. Disintegrating.
No, we're taking her words down. No way is that being allowed. He has to retract. Absolutely not. Absolutely.
She agrees to it. I don't know how much longer I'm going to be over.
Not today.
Yeah.
Not today.
I got to find some place.
Ms. Green, do you wish to strike your words?
I have 4 minutes and 21 seconds to speak.
I think we have to do the motion first, and then unless there's another motion, then you'll be recognized again. But I believe there's another motion coming. So You agree to strike your words?
Yeah.
Okay. Ms. Green agrees to strike her words.
I believe she should apologize. No.
Perry, okay, hold on. Then after Mr. Perry's going to be recognized, then Ms. Green
I'm not
has 4 minutes and
apologizing.
21
Well,
seconds.
then you're not
reserve the right to
striking your
object.
words.
I am not apologizing.
Now let's go. Come on, guys.
Why don't you debate me?
Mr. Chairman, the minority.
self-evident.
You're not.
Yeah, you're not.
Out of order.
You don't have enough
You're out of order.
intelligence.
Chair recognizes Mr. Perry.
Okay, move to strike the. I move to strike the lady's words.
I move to strike
the lady's words again.
That's 2 requests to strike. That's 2 requests to strike.
Oh, they cannot take the words.
There's another motion to strike her words again. Please.
All right,
Get
okay,
your members under
here's
control.
the correct apology. Ms. Green, do you agree to unanimous consent to strike your words?
I repeat again for the second time. Yes, I'll strike my words, but I'm not apologizing.
Without objection.
Not apologizing.
Reserving the right to object.
Chairman,
I reserve the right to object.
Mr. Perry.
I reserve the right to object.
Mr. Chairman, I move that Mr. Goldman's words and Ms. Ocasio-Cortez's words be stricken.
Okay.
Which words? And you have to do it contemporaneously. Object. The objection must be contemporaneous, and they haven't spoken in 10 minutes.
Nobody's spoken in 10 minutes.
Well, that's right. Therefore, defeating your proposal.
You all have.
Now the chair recognizes Ms. Green for 4 minutes and 21 seconds.
Mr. Chair, point of order.
Who's?
It's me.
Ms. Crockett.
I'm just curious, just to better understand your ruling, if someone on this committee then starts talking about somebody's bleach blonde, bad built butch body, that would not be engaging in personalities, correct?
What now?
Chairman, I make a motion to strike those words.
I don't think that's
Hold
a
on.
part
I'm
of it.
trying to find clarification on what quality.
Chairman, motion to strike those
I had no idea
words.
what you just said.
We're not gonna do this. Look, you guys earlier literally just said
You just voted to do
Y'all did it first, so you don't want to talk about
voted to do it.
Order.
I'm trying to get clarification.
Look at calm down.
No, because this is what y'all do. So I'm trying to get
Ms. Crockett,
clarification.
you're not recognized. Ms.
I
Crockett.
can't hear you with your yelling.
Don't want
calm
me to
down.
Be,
Can you please calm down?
Don't tell me to calm down.
Calm down.
Because y'all talk
calm
noise,
down.
and then
You're
can't
out of
take
control.
Because if I
Look, Chairman,
if I
can
come
we
and
send her
talk
outside to
shit
take a
about
break
her,
for 5
y'all
minutes?
gonna have a problem.
Mr.
Order.
Chairman.
All right, Chair.
I don't know why
Okay.
you're
Order.
acting
Chair
like
now
that.
recognizes
Not cute.
Ms. Green for 4 minutes and 21 seconds. 4 minutes. Let Ms. Green talk, and then you all can. I'll recognize.
But I move to strike her words for a second time based on her second set of personal remarks attacking another member.
Who?
Chairman Comer.
Because you all cannot
I have an
seem
amendment at
to
the desk,
apply
and this
the rules
sideshow
of the
needs to
committee.
stop.
We have to do this every time.
Okay, I'm recognized. I'm recognized. I'm going to go ahead and start talking.
Look, I know. Look, I don't know if you've noticed it. I have 2 hearing aids. I'm very deaf. I'm not understanding. Everybody's yelling. I'm doing the best I can. Can we not recognize Ms. Green and let her
We
get?
cannot because of the rules of the committee, Mr. Chair. That is what I'm trying to communicate in the present moment.
We have a Okay, what's the motion?
The motion is to strike the gentlelady's words for the second set of remarks, not the first, the second.
She
that
has
applied
no
to
idea.
me.
She has no idea.
Anna moves first.
I think, Mr. Chairman, I'm the only one recognized right now.
We objected at the time.
Will the member state the word she wishes struck?
She told me, or she asserted that I was not intelligent. These are the specific words. We can have it read by the clerk.
It was made immediately.
And it was made immediately. I am not moving now.
I don't think it was
I am not
timely.
moving
It was
now.
made immediately, both by the gentlelady and by me.
Mr. Chair,
look.
it was made immediately.
It was made immediately,
and you
both
said
by
that
the
you would
gentlelady and by
return
me.
to us.
Guys,
She said, "You don't have the intelligence to talk to me," is what she said.
the chair recognizes Ms. Green for 4 minutes and 21 seconds.
Mr. Chair, what is happening with the ruling?
I object to the ruling now.
We must object.
I mean, if you want to take it up.
Suck it. What did she actually, did she say? Matter of fact,
Bleach Blonde.
Bleach Blonde,
Butch Body.
bad built,
Butch Body.
I got it written down. It's going to be on a T-shirt very soon.
It's already posted on my social media. The African history.
I saw.
Got it.
Hold on. I saw this tweet today from my man Wesley Snipes. He says, "Suddenly, Go to my iPad. I like Metro Boomin to make a beat with Bleach Blonde, Bad Built, Butch, and Body in the beat.
Today's show has been brought to you by the letter B.
Today's show's been brought to you by Clorox. Kelly, it was a little crazy there, Kelly.
I'm here for. I think she should have taken it a step further, because for me, after all of that, I would have been like, bitch, because what you're not going to do is come for me when I didn't send for you. That's what we're not going to do. We're not going to have that kind of decorum in the House of Congress when I didn't even call for it. I was out here minding my business, representing the great state of Texas, and you coming over here talking about eyelashes that you need, not me. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's the alliteration for me. It was the restraint for me, because it was clear that she could have taken it a step further, and she didn't. Because if it were me, I probably would have not been in Congress anymore. There would have been, some slow singing and flower bringing. I'm not going to hold you.
That was delicious, Michael.
Not delicious.
That was delicious. That was delicious.
I watched it earlier today, and Marjorie Trailer Park Trash Green, I think she bit off more than she could chew. She opened up a can of whoop ass. She couldn't put the lid back on. But this dysfunction, I want people to really understand what's going on. This dysfunction and Republicans being in control of the House of Representatives and all the committees. That's why Representative James Comer of Kentucky is the chairman of this committee. It's the result of about 7,000 votes over a handful of House races in 2022. That's why Republicans are in charge. That's why in 2023, they only got 27 bills passed in the House of Representatives, whereas in 2022, when Democrats were in control of the House, they got about 300 bills passed. They have still not passed a budget. They have still not passed a fiscal year budget. They're on there. I think their third continuing resolution. Yeah, I think it's their third continuing resolution. This is the dysfunction. This is how elections have consequences. You can't get bills passed that are meaningful to us because of BS like this and simple Simon-ass people like Marjorie Taylor Greene. And Comer doesn't even understand the rules of the committee. He's the chairman. Okay? These people are not built for leadership. It's easy to just say no and vote no on everything when you're in the minority, like Republicans were. Now, when you have to govern, they're showing they cannot govern. This is why 2024 November is so crucial.
Yo, I just sat there and it was crazy. You know what? Here's Matt. If I'm Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett, my Congresswoman. From the great state of Texas, if I'm her, the next time the House Oversight Committee meets, if I was her, I would walk into the committee room and I would say, "Comer, give me my theme song."
Okay, all right. I'm continually surprised on this show because
I'm telling you. No, go ahead and turn the audio up. Leave it on the pad, turn the audio up. Just the audio.
Shit, I was on my third jam. Nigga, what you think I can just run up in here and snap my fingers and make these motherfuckers throw their money at me? Nigga, I ain't even made payout yet.
Walk that trick, walk that trick, walk that.
Hey, I'm just saying, you go have a theme song, I would say, Comer, give me my theme music.
Well, I love that you're King Petty and you leaning in because that gave me a good laugh. But I want to say, when I watch this show, I often look at the comments from our brothers and sisters on YouTube. And somebody named Riz B said exactly what I was thinking. They said, look at this shit. These are lawmakers. And Michael kind of alluded to it. But when I watched this, it was funny. I love Jasmine Crockett. I think she's brilliant. I think she is outspoken. And I think that she is important, right? Because not only is she outspoken and she's brilliant, but she doesn't always say things the way they want to hear it, but she never sacrifices the truth. And I appreciate that. But as a citizen, this kind of thing infuriates me. They can't even figure out how to keep the government open half the time. They can't pass bills. And this dog and pony show that they engage in, really, to me, I mean, not Jasmine Crockett, because it was obviously reactionary to what Marjorie Taylor Greene said. But Marjorie Taylor Greene in particular, it's so much now about the pageantry that it's not about leading. And even if I were in her district, it would infuriate me because I would feel like you're more about sound bites than you are making sure that the port comes to our district to make sure we have what we need. And while this is funny, it is also, it portends really a horrible trend that we're seeing in our politicians. And I want to kind of speak on this because I'm sure you did this on the show yesterday. I didn't get to watch it. But Greg Abbott pardoning Sergeant Daniel Perry is like one of the most gross, tyrannical decisions I've seen in a very long time. And it is purely ideological. And the point with that is this. What you're seeing politicians these days do is just play for sound bites and clicks. And that's what this is about. I mean, we're talking about in the House chamber. But what's really insidious about this is that you see what very often happens to black people and to black women when a white person particularly says something offensive, throws a rock, hides their hands, and then the goalpost moves, and now they're the ones upholding the rules of decorum, right? And, oh, you can't say that, and this, we got to do it the right way. I mean, that is horseshit. The idea that you would call somebody out about their physical appearance when it's not in any way germane to what's going on, and then try to act like you get to control how she responds to that is offensive. And that's something that people deal with all the time, of all walks of life. But it's especially ridiculous to see it in people whom we pay to make the decisions that control our lives and who are continuously less able to do that because they're playing political games. So this is a problem because we shouldn't be dealing with this. You should be figuring out how to make our healthcare cheaper, and you should be figuring out how to keep the government open. But instead, you're engaging in this kind of chicanery.
There were some other moments during the hearing, and this is courtesy of Congressman Jared Moskowitz.
Chair recognizes Mr. Moskowitz.
All right, thank you, Mr. Chairman. All right, so welcome to Oversight After Dark. If you love James Comer at 11 o'clock in the morning, you're really going to love him at 8:30 p.m. So, members, the hearing was moved today. We don't have to ask the question. The hearing was moved today so that members could go to New York and attend the Trump hearing. But how's he doing? He's complained that he's chilly in the courtroom. Is it chilly? Is it chilly?
Will the gentleman yield?
No, I'll assume it's chilly.
He's doing very good.
Okay, good. So, it was mentioned by the ranking member about really what we're doing here. You don't have to listen to my words. I would like to do a spirited reading of the campaign email sent out by the chairman. And it's on lovely stationery. In fact, it says, from the desk of the oversight chairman. I'm not sure you can do that, but I'm not an ethics expert. It says, friend. President Biden is exerting executive privilege in a last-ditch attempt to stop the disastrous audio recording of his interview with special counsel from being released. And it's highlighted in yellow. Want to make sure people saw that. Just a few months ago, the White House bragged that Joe Biden had nothing to hide and would not exert executive privilege during special counsel Hur's investigation. They even said he had nothing to hide. That's in italics. Now Biden and his advisors are terrified that I, James Comer, will release the recordings, forcing the media and the Democrats to answer for the dismal decline of Biden's mental state. He even had attorney Merrick Garland write a letter saying that his interview falls within the scope of executive privilege. This could be the final blow with swing voters across the country. Okay. You and I know, hold on, we're not done, it gets better. You and I know he's not up for the job, but the mainstream's media refusal to report on it as only keeping him in the game. Stand with Comer. The Democrats, you sure about that? The Democrats are pulling out all the stops to stop the bleeding. That means coming after me with everything they had. If you're able, we hope you are, I'd be so grateful if you'd consider making a donation to my campaign. I sure need it to defend against the onslaught of attacks. Thank you for everything. James Comer, chairman of the House Oversight Committee. Without objection, I'd like to enter that into the record.
Without objection, so ordered.
All right, beautiful.
Now that's what's a trip. Here you got Comer sitting there, and he's fundraising off of it. They ain't got no proof of nothing. They ain't. And then you talking about you want to hold Merrick Garland in contempt when that fool Jim Jordan is sitting right there on the committee and his punk ass is still in contempt more than 700 days later.
Yes. This is the dysfunctional Republican Party that cannot govern. We have to understand how important it is to vote incompetent people out of office, especially Republicans. If you have incompetent Democrats, run somebody better, replace them also. But this is dangerous. And Kelly mentioned, I think it was Kelly who mentioned health care. Donald Trump is saying he will repeal the Affordable Health Care Act if he's reelected. Now, 41 million people have signed up for the Affordable Health Care Act. It's more commonly called Obamacare. It's more popular than ever, okay? And if you want to know the damage that Donald Trump can do, even if he doesn't repeal it, if you go back to 2016 when he was president, in his administration, he cut the amount of funding for marketing the Affordable Health Care Act, okay? Making people aware that they could register for it. They cut the funding by 90%. The amount of time that you had to apply for the Affordable Health Care Act, they cut that amount of time in half. This is just the damage that he can do without legislation going through Congress, all right? And they have been consistently talking about repealing and replacing the Affordable Health Care Act, but they have nothing that they can replace it with that they agree with, okay? This is dangerous. So we have to understand what's at stake in 2024. This is more about, this is not about Biden versus Trump. This is about all these other policies and the trajectory of this country and the future. And one of the most important things, U.S. Supreme Court and the federal bench, lifetime appointments.
You know what? I think I still feel a little extra petty.
Of course you do.
I do.
Of course you do.
I do. And so somebody posted this on social media, this graphic here. Come on, pull the graphic up. Come on, pull the graphic up. The graphic. Pull the graphic up. Thank you very much. This probably will be the album cover. My digital girls created an AI song that I think y'all gonna love. Just go ahead and bring the panel back, bring all four of us back, and go ahead and play us the name of this song. Kelly, what is it? Bad Built, what is it? Bleach Blonde. Bleach Blonde. No, hold on, y'all ain't doing it right. Ladies and gentlemen, here to present the new hit song. Kelly, what's the new hit song?
Bleach Blonde, Bad Built, Butch Body.
Hit it.
Bad built frame, bad built frame. Bleach Blonde Butch, better shut your trap, ain't got no game. Bleach Blonde Butch, bad built shame, bad built shame. Whole lot of frontin', whole lot of frontin', all in my lane. Bleach Blonde Butch, Bleach Blonde Butch, Bleach Blonde Butch, bad built frame, bad built frame. Bleach Blonde Butch, Bleach Blonde Butch, better shut your trap, ain't got no game. Bleach Blonde Butch, Bleach Blonde Butch.
You all right, Kelly?
Yeah.
And you said that was AI?
Yes. Hit it one more time. Run it back.
Bad built frame, bad built frame. Bleach Blonde Butch, better shut your trap, ain't got no game. Bleach Blonde Butch, bad built shame, bad built shame. Whole lot of frontin', whole lot of frontin', all in my lane. Bleach Blonde Butch, Bleach Blonde Butch, Bleach Blonde Butch, bad built frame, bad built frame. Bleach Blonde Butch, Bleach Blonde Butch, better shut your trap, ain't got no game. Bleach Blonde Butch, Bleach Blonde Butch.
Oh, that was from Marjorie Taylor Greene right there, Matt.
Is that a cane?
Oh, yeah. One of my followers sent me this about 3 years ago. They sent me go wide. They sent me a Roland Martin unfiltered. So you see right here is Roland Martin right. No, go to the three. Number 3. So they got Roland Martin right here. Then they put unfiltered over here in gold, and then they got A5A right here as well. And so when we were playing that video, I meant to get. I wore my athletic pants. I meant to get a belt because they were smacking that ass. They were just smacking that ass of Marjorie Taylor Greene. And so I went ahead and got the cane because they were just like beat. They were just yeah. That's what was going on right there.
Now,
I told y'all. Listen. I am creating a new segment on Roland Martin Unfiltered. It is going to be called. Did Keenan have it ready yet, Kara? Damn, he ain't got it ready yet. Y'all, I'm announcing today. I'm creating a new segment on the show. It's called the Crockett Chronicles. It's called the Crockett Chronicles. So every time Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett, they have one of these hearings, we're going to be sure to play the best of the shadiest, pettiest comments from my Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett in this new segment on Roland Martin Unfiltered on the Black Star Network. It's called the Crockett Chronicles. Just letting y'all know. Matt, you going to say something. Go ahead.
I'm really baffled at the fact that AI can make a song that sounds like somebody programmed drums on Ableton themselves. I mean, that sounds like a Dero track. I'm listening to it. I'm hearing Ice Cream Paint Job. I'm really baffled that AI is able to do that. I thought you were going to tell me that somebody took it and they, people do this on Instagram, social media. Somebody took it up, put drums under it. No, AI made that song, so we should have a conversation about AI and its capabilities.
No, we did. That was last week's Tech Talk when Isaac Hayes III was on, and we talked about how that's how AI is. Yeah, my man Keenan threw that together, and it turned out. Run it back!
Bad Bill frame. Bleach Blonde Butch, better shut your trap, ain't got no game. Bleach Blonde Butch, bad Bill shame. Whole lot of frontin', all in my lane. Bleach Blonde Butch, bad Bill frame. Bleach Blonde Butch, better shut your trap, ain't got no game.
There you go. Now that's when Congresswoman Crockett gonna say, "Coma, give me my theme music."
It's funny because one of my IG friends, his name is King Wallonius. He's the creator of BBL Drizzy. He just came out with a Bleach Blonde song as well. So I'm looking.
Hold up. What's his handle?
King Wallonius. He's the one who created King Wallonius.
How the hell is spell Wallonius?
WILONIUS.
Ain't that like that's no regular ass spelling, Kelly?
No, I was trying to think it out. I'm trying to think it through. I can't
King Wallonius. First of all, it's got 2 L's.
It does? Okay.
Yeah, it got 2 L's. Okay.
So Metro Boomin took his song, sampled it, and that's the BBL Drizzy song that everybody's hearing right now.
Right. You said he came out with one of Bleach Blonde?
Yes. My mom just sent it to me.
Boom! Y'all, pull up the audio of my iPad.
my God.
You all right?
I'm great. I'm great. That was wonderful. That was great. Shout out to King Wallonius.
Yeah, King Wallonius. That's a bop right there.
He's an amazing he's a comedic songwriter, and his whole page is just full of bops like that. Like I said, he did BBL Drizzy. He's done that. He's just like this AI guru when it comes to songs and imaging and all of those things. And I've seen his stand up. He's come out to the DMV area for stand up stuff, and I mean, just incredible talent. And I'm excited that his page has been blowing up since the Drake Kendrick Lamar thing. I hope this takes him to the next level as well, because he deserves. He's really good. He's really good.
Hey, Michael, that sounds like a Motown song right there.
Yeah, it does. I was just looking at the 2022 midterm election results while we were listening to this music, and looking at Marjorie Taylor Greene. She won by her district. I think she got like 61% of the vote, something like that, 65% of the vote. So even I think she's in a pretty red district.
Yeah, she's in a heavily gerrymandered district. Remember, she ran against the brother who was the veteran,
right?
And her opponent this time is another brother. We had him on the show. So another brother who's running against her. But again, Republicans have the gerrymander of these districts. But I think the smart play for Democrats is to mock her silly ass at every turn, because she is truly the second dumbest member of Congress behind Lauren Boebert.
And Lauren Boebert, on recount, she won, if I remember correctly, by something like 546 votes.
Yeah, so trust me, she's scared. That's why she's running in a neighboring district, because she was gonna get a behind kick. Matt, real quick, final comment, Matt.
Well, first, I was really impressed by how authentic that horn section was for Motown. So that's what I was listening to. But my final comment on it is we should not allow this. These are lawmakers who have the fates of our lives in their hands with a lot of the bills that they pass. They should not be able to shirk that duty for political points. And that's what we're seeing. And my 4-year-old is showing me his tablet. So that's the end of my comment.
All right. All right. I'm going to go to a quick break. We'll be right back. Roland Martin Unfiltered on the Black Star Network, the home of the, bad built, Bleach Blonde, Butch Body, something like that. Y'all know what it is. Matter of fact, you know what? We're going to play that song again before we go to the break. All right, I'll be back in a moment.
Bad built frame, Bleach Blonde Butch, better shut your trap, ain't got no game. Bleach Blonde Butch, bad bill shame, whole lot of frontin', all in my lane. Bleach Blonde Butch, bad bill frame, Bleach Blonde Butch.
I wanted the people of Baltimore to hear it from me. I have done nothing wrong.
Prosecutor for the people.
But I see that what you are trying to do is destroy this black woman for doing her job.
I have heard your calls for no justice, no peace. However, your peace is sincerely needed as I work to deliver justice on behalf of Freddie Gray.
Maryland was a force to be reckoned with. I was assuming this was all because of Freddie Gray, but it actually is much deeper than that.
Baltimore's top prosecutor, a woman named Marilyn Mosby, was indicted yesterday in the Eastern District of Maryland for perjury. Couldn't help but think about Donald Trump.
This is what you gotta deal with when you are a black woman fighting for just causes in America.
Yeah, but just taking on the police, period. She's stepping on their toes. They want to cross her out of the system so she can't stand up for the preacher.
Reached in the pool and grabbed me and pulled me out.
Imagine if this were you. You would want people to stand in your corner.
I lost my car. I lost my job. I lost my marriage. And I almost lost my mind for a little while.
It is so much right now, Lord, and I'm just saying, why are you putting all of this on me? I'm about to break.
Folks, Black Star Network is here.
I'm real revolutionary right now.
Support this man, Black Media. He makes sure that our stories are told.
Thank you for being the voice of Black America, Roland.
Hey, Black, I love y'all.
All momentum we have now, we have to keep this going.
The video looks phenomenal.
See, there's a difference between Black Star Network and Black-owned media and something like CNN.
You can't be Black-owned media and be scared.
It's time to be smart.
Bring your eyeballs home.
You dig?